the color. She painted both sides. Blue or pink?
Are we ready?
You ready?
Brent here with Bring Your Own Tools, and on today's episode is going to be a very special episode because you get to find out whether or not my beautiful wife Hillary and I are going to be having a boy or a girl in a very unique gender reveal, so keep on watching. Let's get started. Now I know probably half of you are thinking, dear goodness, not another gender reveal, what's this one going to be about? And in some cases, in all honesty, I do agree, but I'm going to do one, I'm going to be creative and going to do it BYOT style. So we are making a changing table with plywood and epoxy. Now I have a 2-foot by 4-foot piece of birch plywood that I picked up at Home Depot, and with my standard 4.5-inch grinder with cut-saw shaping disc, I'm able to make a very unique shaped topography style that I actually featured in BYOT number 60, where I did glue up a number of pieces of birch plywood together and did a very unique topography map style. This is going to be in essence the same type of thing, just in a larger capacity. Now these blades really do earn the name shaping disc because that's exactly what they do, and they do it very well. I've used them a number of times and they make quick work of any type of shaping project when it comes to wood, and as you can see with this, it comes to life very quickly and very easily. Now I could have built a number of different things for this gender reveal, but I decided to do a change table, one because we get to use it immediately, day one I'm assuming kids will poop, but also I want it to be a really cool, unique piece, and inevitably if it's a nice flat piece we might be able to hang it on a wall later and enjoy it for years and years to come. I'm using the shaping disc to really transform this piece of plywood into layers of topography map. Now, with the different layers comes the different formations of land, and it's a beautiful look in my opinion. Now, after I went over it with the rough, coarse version of the cut-saw blade as well as the smooth version, I then grabbed my random orbital sander and went over the entire surface with 120, just to make sure the entire surface is nice, perfectly smooth. Now, again, it doesn't have to be super perfect because we're just going to be pouring epoxy over the entire thing. Now this next segment is a new segment called Real Talk with Brent. Now I'm not going to be doing this very often, and I personally don't want to do it very often because this channel is all about helping others learn how to build and create. But if you don't want to see Brent become a little emotional, then skip 2 minutes 6 and you can avoid everything. But if you do want to see real life and really what this channel is all about, then keep on watching. Real talk, because I don't know if it's just it's probably just the sawdust in my eyes, but I am kind of tearing up a little bit doing on this project, and I try and keep the focus on the project and on providing quality content for individuals that love DIY type stuff, because that's really how this channel started, is because I started using YouTube all the time for my own projects and found the fact that there was a couple of videos that I couldn't find anywhere, but inevitably I wanted to put quality content out there that helped other individuals because YouTube helped me so much. But doing this project specifically is because it's been a journey. Like my wife and I have literally tried for 2 years to have a child, and it finally happened. And we've tried the IUI route. We literally saw a $30,000 bill for IVF and decided to hold off on that. And then inevitably I decided to quit my job back in October. Back in October 2019, I quit my job and I started to focus solely on YouTube and helping create quality content for that platform. And I love helping people, and I love helping people learn how to build because I love creating, and it seems to be going well so far. But this project specifically is kind of a big deal, an emotional one, because definitely the sawdust. But the reason I'm tearing is because as a fixer and as a builder, I wanted to fix the situation.
I wanted to fix what was ever wrong with us not being able to get pregnant, but I couldn't. And as a fixer and as a builder, it's hard not to be able to fix something, and I couldn't. But lo and behold, it happened. Of course, after I quit my job, but hopefully that was the reason why it had to happen like that, because if she had become pregnant while I was at my previous job, I probably wouldn't have had the forethought or the push to quit my job, because I love stability and I want stability, especially for my family. But inevitably, it happened the way it is, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and hope you guys all enjoy this project because it means a lot.
So I do apologize for that very real moment, but inevitably I felt like it was an important message, especially individuals who've gone through struggles with pregnancy, especially me being me. That's the situation, and luckily we're stronger for it and we got through it together. So if it lightens up anything, just think of Patrick Swayze in Red Dawn, because that's what I always think of when I'm crying. I know it's a little weird, but, you know, note to self, and just think of this.
Don't cry! Pull it back!
Thanks, Patrick. And how about let's just move back to the actual project itself. So I ripped a few pieces of plywood down, and these are going to be the sides of the changing table. Now, after I have them cut and measured correctly, I then take a bit of silicone and apply a bead of silicone down all sides of the boards. Now, after I do that, I attach corner clips, which just makes it a little bit easier to handle, especially on these longer pieces when it's only a one-man type of job. After I have it attached, I then take my nail gun and then just fire a few nails into the side just to make sure it's fully secured. Now I'm applying silicone instead of wood glue for two reasons. One, it's a very good product when trying to make sure you don't have any leaks because it prevents liquids from passing through very well. And two, it is a product that I can eventually take off at a certain point. So these sides, if I do want to make this panel some type of art piece later on, it's not going to be impossible to try and remove the sides of these boards later on at that point. So just keep that in mind, and if you want some type of permanent edge, probably use wood glue in that case. After I have all my sides fully secured, I then take my router with a round over bit and just round over all the edges smooth, just because I want a nice clean, crisp feel, especially since this is, you know, a changing table, so you want it nice and smooth for the baby, right? Yeah. Now after you have all the sides rounded, I then take some wood glue with some leftover sawdust and actually just mix that together to make a perfect wood filler. Now again, this is plywood, so it's not going to be super duper perfect, but it'll do the job, especially for these nail holes. Now once your filler dries, go ahead and take your random movable sander and sand off all the edges, and then proceed to the next step. And guess what that is? That is cleanup and epoxy. I take some mineral spirits and wipe off the entire surface just to make sure I get all the loose dirt and debris that there is, and then once it's fully clean and dried out, I then go and grab my epoxy. Now this is just going to be a setting epoxy where I'm actually going to set and seal the wood prior to actually mixing up the pigment version that we're going to be pouring over the entire surface. I want to do this just because I want to make sure everything is sealed properly and I won't have any leaks afterwards. Yeah, emphasis on leaks. There's going to be a little bit of that we'll discuss later on. Or how about right now? Now there's a couple holes in the bottom of this just because I wanted a unique variance to the depth and the fact that if you could see through it, I thought it'd be a kind of a cool, unique pattern. On second thought, this was just more of a headache than anything, and I applied tape to both of these holes, which I've done in the past and it worked out perfectly. However, if you do have a downward force on the tape, which is going to be the epoxy, but nothing for it to press back against, then you're going to have an issue, which is what I had here. But how about let's just get to the epoxy and actually see the fun stuff. Now this is Total BYOT thick set epoxy, and the beautiful thing about this product is that you can pour very thick pours with this product. It cures a little bit slower, however you're able to do large scale pours very easily, which is always preferable in my opinion. And now, what we've all been waiting for, boy or girl, who will win? Well, we told a friend to actually purchase pink or blue pigment in whichever one we opened. Guess what? That is the surprise, and I'll just stop talking now because you can just see our natural reaction.
Okay.
Okay, ready, guys?
Color pigment. Oh!
Oh my god!
It is pink. It
Oh
looks
my
pink
god,
to
that
me.
looks really pink!
It's
Oh
It's a little
Oh my gosh!
Oh, you're gonna be a girl. You're gonna be a girl dad.
Oh!
You're gonna be a girl dad.
Oh!
Oh
my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I am going to be a proud father of a beautiful baby girl, and I was not prepared for that quite, just because I think we were both thinking about it's going to be a boy, mainly due to the fact that we already had a boy's name picked out and we could never agree upon a girl's name. But, you know, of course we jinked ourselves on that. But no matter what, as long as we have a beautiful, healthy baby, we are so happy, and that girl will know 1, how to change a tire, 2, how to change your own oil, 3, how to drive a stick shift, and 4, work with plenty of power tools, because, I mean, come on, you gotta be in dad's shop eventually, right? Now let's get to pouring, because I'm actually quite curious how pink pigment is gonna work on plywood. Let's take a look.
That's what I just said. He's gonna be girl dad like Kobe.
The epoxy's going in. Here we
It's
go.
girl dad. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting.
It's going to take a couple different batches.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's
I'll
gonna
need
be
a couple different batches.
beautiful. Oh. Okay, here she
What
goes.
if I just spilled it all over the floor?
Eileen's going to start her pour. She gets the second pour here. Like a little baby girl.
Well, that's way too much.
Is it?
No.
Oh. Stop it.
You guys, it's so exciting.
Now she's working down south.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
This really truly was one of the most exciting moments of my life, and I cannot believe I will be a father of a beautiful baby girl in August, or at least that's when we're expecting. But if you were wondering what that white board was on the backside, which I didn't actually show, it's just a piece of melamine that I actually applied a bit of tape to and then attach it to the backside just the same way that I attached all the others, but I'm going to be removing it after the epoxy sets and dries. Now this whole thing took up 3 large containers of epoxy, and I used a plastic knife or plastic spreader to spread evenly the entire surface. Now after I let the epoxy sit for approximately 5 to 10 minutes, I then took my trusty little blowtorch and just tried to blowtorch out all the tiny little bubbles that were coming to the surface. Now after I let the entire thing dry for approximately 48 hours, I then came back, removed it from the form, and then it's time for actually installing it onto the wall. And to do so, we're using these nifty little brackets that I bought off of Amazon, and I will be leaving a link in the description box below on where to purchase said product or any other products that you see on this channel. Now the nice thing about these brackets is that it states that they have a 400-pound capacity, yes, and that's quite impressive. If you don't believe it, just take a look at this, and they could easily hold my weight. I don't think I weigh 400 pounds, but just to give you an idea, it holds quite a bit of weight. But now that we have the weight test taken care of and we attach the top to the brackets, guess what? We are done. I truly love how this project turned out. From the very beginning, it was a unique and sentimental project, but yet it's really turned out absolutely beautiful with the pink pigment, which I never thought I'd be saying that with pink pigment, but it really does work out, as well as the fact that it's going to be very functional because it's waterproof and hopefully easy cleanup. And of course, we've got to test the brackets itself out, so look at that. Like butter. And this one is one project that I'm proud to say that is one beautiful, sexy beast. Oh yeah. And there you have it, episode number 67 of BYOT, fully completed. And I must say, I've done a lot of projects in my day, but this one takes the cake, and it is one of the most unique and cherished projects that I will ever create, as to good reason as to why. But hope you guys all appreciated and enjoyed it. I know this was not a normal project for me, and inevitably I wanted to share a little bit more about myself, about the journey that we've had through the last couple of years, because it really has been a unique journey, and life throws you curveballs, but it's all about how you adapt and proceed forward. And luckily I have an amazing partner that really stands by me no matter what, so that's something that I will absolutely always cherish in life. But thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video, please subscribe to this channel, and please check out my Instagram feed as well as my newly developed website at BYOTools.me. You can learn how to support the channel from there. Also, please share this video, because hopefully it might not affect you, but hopefully it helps someone else out there that's going through the same type of struggle. But in any case, thank you for your time. Catch you next time.
Note to self, always use plenty of tape before epoxy.